Welcome, God's Eagle's Eyes. This is Paula. How are you all doing today? Um, this is a channel I left that I had joined back in 2009 11. I was married at the time to my second husband, and we've been divorced since 2014. And I, I'm living with bipolar 2 disorder. And I was able to, well, God just showed me how to do abstract sketches to help me through my life and lifetime changes and, daily day mental changes and just being bipolar, all of that. So the abstract sketches and the art and computer art has really been my therapy, even though I do therapy every week as well for an hour. I'm a mentor and advocate for mental health. When I was 5, my father died. I'm in Carrollton, Georgia, an hour from Atlanta, and I'm born and raised from Atlanta. So my father died. He was a deputy sheriff of Decatur, and ever since then, I lost grandparents and all of that, and just lost my mom 2 years ago to dementia, and I helped take care of her until I had a mental breakdown and put her in memory care, and she was 86. And I'm the only child. I have grown children, I have grandchildren, and so I'm grateful that I'm well. I'm so grateful that God gave me the spiritual awakening that I can work in work with people to help them with their daily life and everything. So I'm also a mentor and an advocate, and the Paula Cook's theory is going by on my other channel is that I just started is about my experiences and my observation, what I observe rather of the other peers, because we all peers, and the resources that I have that I network with the managers to help 55 and up to get into senior living like me. I'm 58. So when I've been here 2 years, going on November to next month, and I've been homeless. I lived in my truck. My mother put me out after I sold my house back then after the divorce, and then I went broke, and then I I moved in with my mother in her high rise to take care of her. That's the only way I could get in there to take care of her in Atlanta, Greenbrier. She was there over 20 years. So when she put me out, I was in living in my truck for 3 years, off and on. My mentor before for 10 years or so, he's 74. Him and his wife was great friends of my family until she died. I helped looked after her for 2 weeks, off and on to give him a break, like go to the store and wash his clothes. So he was there for me when I want to commit suicide and everything. And that's my story. My recovery story is suicidal and homelessness. And so I applied for a vouch. I was working at the time, and my vouch, I had to wait on that for 2 years, and I stuck it out. Even when I was homeless, I was still calling and waiting on that vouch. And when they finally gave it to me right here in Carrollton, Georgia, they told me about this place, um, um, in Carrollton, Georgia, senior living. Okay. And I was grateful. So my truck, I had it for 8 years, it's paid for, but it need a lot of work done to it. Okay. So I was working part-time. At first I was working part-time, but it's began to be like a 9 to 5. So we was working with mental illness, mental health people, peers that come out the mental hospital. and they would be doing good. We would have one-on-one sessions. I was one of the staff members, and we would do one-on-one sessions and groups and everything. But we had to be diagnosed to work there so we can relate to the homelessness and all of that. But when you work with mental illness, of course, mental illness need to be spoken about today. That's why God is blessing me for my purpose, because I had mental illness on both sides of my family. Okay. So that's what I was working in. I was so glad to work in my purpose. But the staff, we end up, what we were going through with our mental illness, we was triggering each other. I mean, even the new director yelled at me twice, you know, and I end up being the last one when I came and got hired there, training everybody else. So it was like revolving doors. It was always somebody new. So I stayed in touch with some of the peers that we could really work together, and they love for me to be their mentor. So that I stayed, in touch with them. A lot of time we don't supposed to, because a lot of people were doing it for the money, but I loved it. But I just couldn't deal with some of them that came off the street. They had a very high, high kind of manic that was, that got out of order, and the staff, and they would come after the staff and all of that. And wow, and it was just really something. So that really drained me. It really drained me. So that was in 2022. I gave my 2 weeks notice. That's the first time I ever did a two weeks notice, and we did a little luncheon goodbye. But the director that yelled at me ended up getting fired because of something else. I don't know. And because God don't like ugly. And I was so hurt, when that happened. And I just got tired. So I was driving a hour from Carrollton to there, 2 weeks. And thank God my truck held up, because I need work done to it. And I still do. So I had already applied for disability because I have other health issues. I have arthritis in my spine. I could walk. I used the cane at times, but it felt so good when that last day was. It went by my income, but since now, um, my income is zero, because I have no income right now, and I just started back YouTube. And so the housing, they pay for the rent, and they give something on the lights, but I still got to get the rest of it on lights. Like, for example, $70, and they'll give 40, and then I have to get up the rest, like my children or somebody will help me when they can, and all of that. So I'm saying, I'm just so tired of this and waiting on this disability. All this stuff is just running me crazy. So now here I am with YouTube full time. Um, I started a new channel, which is the mental illness is real, and I talk more of my journey, but on there, and I will give the link to that. I put it in the description, and the look out for the summary. And I just want to say, this can help you, help somebody, because it's not for everybody. And we do thank you. I am so grateful that there are people. It's okay if you work 9 to 5, because if you enjoy what you're doing, hey, do you. But a lot of us, it's just unfortunately that we got other journeys. God got other things for us to do, and we need to do it. You know. So when I got off, I just mentored a lot of people like that next year, making no money, but God was still blessing me to eat, have food stamps, and all of that, and just do the purpose, be there for people, and plus have plenty self care for myself. I sure did need it, because I'm grieving. I'm still grieving because I lost my mom. I'm the only child. My children, we do things, we do Bible study, but they got their own life. My grandchildren, my sons, 3 children that he gave me, we all are busy. So while I can in my right mind, and I realize I know I'm in my right mind because I know when something wrong with me. I want to do all I can while I can. So I said, God, you want me to go around telling my recovery story? How? With zero income? He said, YouTube. So I started the new YouTube, and then end up when you hit switch account, my old account came up, and I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, let me go on and get back on here and just do. The Lord said, do spiritual awakening. That's why you was doing all those sketches to help others, and for them to book you, and for business to do sessions with the ones that would like to have it. So I said, okay, that would be fun. So you all, thank you for listening. Um, I'm for the ones that are subscribed. I am back. I've been divorced since 2014. He left me because we didn't know what was going on. But he was a great person. He married 2 months after we divorced, and I took it really hard. But then I said I take accountability, and I understood, and I got peace with myself, and I'm just so grateful. So let's do it. We in this together, and we can do this, okay? And you all do your research, and we just support each other. Remember, Jesus love you, and so do I.